right into our first set of the day. 5 big men facing off against Chicken Dinner. So we got 5 big men on the orange team. Chicken Dinner with the blue. We got some basic comps over here. Both people rocking the junior. Your specialty, Rissa?
Yes. Both teams rocking the junior, and now that junior has been, everyone went into Splatoon 3 thinking the NZAP was going to be the be-all, win-all support weapon, but junior, the past week or so, I feel like, or two, junior has really been becoming that support weapon.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to have that bubbler can be really strong, as well as just being able to paint. Just having that, especially in a game like Splatoon, where you have to try to go over the middle. By the way, for those that don't know, this game mode is all about controlling the middle of this map. Try to fill in that whole square of your team's color for as long as possible. Right now, in control of that zone is going to be 5 big men with the lead, but they got 2 to 3 right now, so they're going to have to hold on to it for as long as possible. Great placement of that bubble right there on the top, too, just being able to kind of block in any sort of projectiles coming their way. Good pickup from Mudkip as they're going to try to lose control.
Looks like we see this Slosher player drop down and try and just stall out the zone and help their team stall out the zone. Mudcup there goes down as well, tries to drop down, just be able to paint with that junior. Of course, the junior can paint the zone so well, but unfortunately, with 2 members down, Chicken Dinner are going to have to back up and figure out how they want to regroup and get back into at least stall the zone.
They're definitely having trouble with this aggression, right? Like, the defense for 5 big men is so good on point. The second they get 1 pick, they kind of back up a little bit while still holding onto the zone. Use the anchor as a way to kind of jump back in. And now we have 3 to 3 time. They got to get into it. They got to go to the specials now. The time is running out. 3, 2, 1. Finally loses control. Can finally take it and put some penalty points on the board. There's a splat on middle. It's going to be huge for Chicken Dinner. Try to take this one. If we can get 1 more spot on top of that, now they're going to add it to penalty points. And now we got ourselves a 95-point lead for Chicken Dinner to try to take back this zone.
That was such a good take back with literally only 2 points remaining there. That's exactly what Chicken Dinner needed to be able to just cap the zone. Now they have points on the board. They gave those penalty points over to 5 big men, and now they are in a position to try and see if they can take this game. We still do have 3 minutes left of this match. So right now, with 5 big men going through their penalty points, they are setting up a pretty strong defense coming into this.
Now, right now, we saw Opie over there just kind of painting up a little bit, getting a little bit of their zone full, trying to build up a little bit of meter. Blue team trying to find their way to get back in there, building meter themselves. There's the Crab Tank coming out, so they try to get some side. There's the Booyah Bomb specials coming out of plenty. Going to force them to lose control. See if they can try to take over it as well. Opie trying to hold his own with that brush. Looks like maybe potentially going for like a sharking moment until he finally shows his mark. Finally, a little bit too late, gets it back in there. You see Opie trying to play a little bit aggressive, runs around. That's so good of an ink brush, right? Just having the ability to be able to move back and forth as fast as possible. Gets a pick on Ash. That's going to be huge. Has another landing right on top of him. He's going to wait for it. Gets another pick right there, and that's going to be them taking over that zone from Chicken Dinner.
Chicken Dinner just trying to figure out how to get in a position to be able to even get into the zone. With Lux there on that reflux is just holding the zone. Just even, look at Lux can point up to this top right on, sees Mudcup up there and is just like, hey, I see you up there and I'm just gonna keep poking at you from the middle of the zone very safely.
Yeah, recognize that they got the hit confirm on that too. So you're like, wait, I felt the rumble on my control. There's someone up there and kept shooting it up. And now we see 5 big men pretty much dominating control right now. Only needs to hold on for 8 more points. But Chicken Dinner's trying to make their push. This could be it, but unfortunately a little bit too late. If they had a couple more seconds, they had another opportunity to try to take that zone, but 5 big men's going to kind of dominate that first map here at the big house.
5 big men did a great job. I loved their defense in particular. It felt like, having Lux there on the middle portion of the zone there and just not even pushing up too far, making sure that they stay safe, they are in position to give jumps to their teammates. Just being able to have that awareness and then have their team play around them was really, really good.
Honestly, just like having that defense at the very beginning, it kind of reminded me of solo queue a little bit. Like when you go into a splat zones, right, and it's like when you have no coordination between your voices between the teams, sometimes it's hard to regroup and try to make that aggression. But that's not what the case was. I think the defense was just really stellar. I feel like whenever Mel's team, like they had someone go down, they just kind of backed up a little bit, still while applying pressure, waited for them to jump back in before having that full defense. So just having that safe jump in was really, really strong. And I think it comes down to having like, some of the players might be having some quick respawn on, right? Quick respawn's a really good ability for like people that want to play Slayer, want to get into the back row, get into the nitty gritty because they're going to be exploding a lot, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Quick respawn, and then Ninja Squid, in particular, recently in the meta, has been so good for those those aggro players like you were mentioning, being able to combine those two subs on your weapons is proving to be really, really strong right now in the meta, and we're seeing a lot of that already.
I've been hearing some conflicting opinions lately about Ninja Squid in particular.
Yeah?
Because, there's a lot of abilities out there that have, like, point sensor on it, so it makes it a little bit useless when you can see it, especially with, like, the subs on it. So it's kind of interesting how the meta's, like, starting to evolve, but also starting to find counterplay. Speaking of counterplay, going to go into the second map of the day here, going into, I believe this is tower control, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, going into tower control here for game 2. Both teams coming into mid here. Both teams having, a little bit change up. The one main change up I'm seeing is actually Lux switching over to the ballpoint from that reflux. So gonna be able to be a little bit, more stationary with that weapon. Be able to utilize the sub and the inkjet that it has as well.
While the reflex is more mobile, right?
Yes.
Having the tri-stringer in general, just being able to give you a little bit more buildability while also trying to play anchor. Looks like that first push is going to come up from 5 big men. No spots on the board. Speak of the devil, we got one on Vic. Coming out from, again, just having the brush on the team is so strong. Having another one on there because it goes to Ash. Can we get a third one on top of that? He throws at the Whaler, applying all sorts of pressure all over the place.
I loved that combination of being able to get those picks and then instantly throwing out that Whaler to just stall out the other team even more. So now, Chicken Dinner just trying to get in a position to even get out of their spawn right now. I mean, Setu here, push up on this machine. This inkjet coming out from Lux as well. There's so much pressure right now from 5 big men as they are continuing to push the tower.
Yeah, meanwhile, Mel's just chilling on that tower all day, every day with the trainer. I mean, that's the support's job. I tried to go back on there. We see a little bit of challenge going on. The brush coming in, trying to get some splats on the board. Has the bubbler trying to protect him. He's going to try to take back this tower. I mean, this is a crucial checkpoint, right? Having this little overarching area to be able to shoot on top of the tower, such an opening. It's kind of a little tough to get through unless you have someone like get sent into to get a splat. Speaking of, the brush coming in yet again, getting another splat on Ash. Last one alive. They have to back up at this point. Try to play a little bit of anchor action. Get back in the way. Play it safe. Throw out some splat bombs and try to keep the fight another day. Unfortunately, Opie is going to get picked off by Tim. Very good splat.
Yeah, and Opie had, we were talking about that Ninja Squid, Opie had that Ninja Squid on too. Tim just turned around and boom, was able to get Opie right away with that really nice snipe. Now this is a great position because Chicken Dinner finally is able to get on the tower, start using specials and get to this first checkpoint. I really like this use of the ink back as well, making sure that they just get this first checkpoint, use those specials to get the checkpoint.
Yeah, honestly, the ink back's so good for just stopping pressure from right in front of you, especially on the tower. If you're trying to get through a choke point, it's the best way to do it. The only way you can counteract that is to use Whaler or something, or get behind them as a flank and try to shoot them from the back. But they're going to be able to get through this. Here we go, 5 big men starting to push the tower a little bit, sending it back to neutral. Still has a lead, 22 to 47, 2.5 minutes on the board. There's another pick right there on Ash's machine slosher coming in such clutch. Busts out the Booyah Bomb, throwing it right in front to just force the displacement of the enemy team. He's going to try this challenge. It's another pick on Mudcup. How are they still alive? Yeah, they're going ham. They got another pick on Fig. You saw purple they are. I can see the purple on them. Another one on Quad. Are you kidding me? They just walked up forward, didn't even care. Throws out the ink and gets all of those spots, and the tower's going to be sending home. Here we go, third checkpoint.
I feel like we're seeing exactly why Machine is in the meta right now. Setu just gave us the perfect example of that. With only 9 points now remaining here, you can see Ash and Tim here trying to do everything they can to get on the tower, stop it, and get 5 big men away from the tower. But man, that was quite the push with Setu helping get that tower all the way down to 9 points.
And what's really scary is this push is not done, in my opinion. Yeah, the tower is going back to the center. They are trying to regroup. But they were applying a little bit of pressure there at the end. You're seeing Chicken Dinner kind of struggling to move forward a little bit to get back on the tower. Now we're going to try to reset. Here it is, 4-3, a little bit of advantage. Got that respawn in from the opposing size machine slosher to see where they're going to be able to jump back in. They're going to try to find this opening. Splat Bomb's going to force displacement. Now it's all about who can go for this flank, right? Because I saw some ink going on over there. Might be, yeah, definitely. There's the Fizzy Bomb. Mudkip's going to play a little bit of shark to try to catch any suspecting person that wants to go in from the side. But there's 1 minute left remaining. There's a splat. That might be go time for 5 big men. Here comes Opie with the brush. Finds an opening. Gets caught a little bit. Has to swim around with that Ninja Squid. Going deep into the back lines to get that charger. That was super important for them to be able to get that Tim. There goes down their anchor. Even with that trade, fantastic trade for 5 big men to be able to push that tower even further. Unfortunately, going to stick there in the center, but honestly, there's only 30 seconds left. I think this might be done.
Yeah, you can tell right now that 5 big men, they know exactly what you just said. There's only 30 seconds left. We just literally need to sit in mid, bait the tower, maybe paint mid, make sure we have some specials ready just in case we need to. But with 2 members going down on Chicken Dinner, I mean, they are set up really amazing. Look at this, the E-Jet, the Whaler coming out, just setting up this wall, not letting Chicken Dinner get into mid at all.
It's like not even if they're not getting the splats, this map is looking really orange right now. Like there's nowhere for Chicken Dinner to try to get any sort of mobility. They don't even have control of the tower, and that's going to be the game. 5 big men showing dominance with this 2-0 lead in this set, in this race to 3. Good Lord.
That was, I mean, something that's just standing out to me right now is the way that 5 big men is playing their defense. We saw it on the first map. Now we saw it on this one as well. They just know when they have the lead, they're set up really well, and they just need to hold positions. They're doing such a good job at that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm actually very impressed by Opai's brush play, to be honest. Like there was that critical moment there at the end where you saw Opai. There was a very clear opportunities for Opai to expose themselves and go for a pick on someone that was closer to the center, right? But they knew the objective, the win condition, was to get rid of the enemy anchor, that charger. So he just kept going, got past the front lines, and just kept moving along. Yes, they could have gotten a splat, but they would have got shot by the charger. So they just kept going back into the back line, had no idea they were there. The opponents weren't looking at their maps, apparently. Got the pick on the splat, the charger, and that made a complete opening for them to be able to do whatever they wanted for the rest of that game.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to those call-outs or recognizing, hey, Opie on the brush there, their teammates calling out, hey, we can't get past this charger. We really need to figure out how to deal with this and what can we do to do this. And Opie, was able to hone in on that, and doing that, like you said, just does such a good job at helping your teammates be able to push the objective.
Yeah, Opie heard the teammates were in trouble, and there's like, bet I'm on my way. Send me in, coach. So that's going to be 2 maps back-to-back in favor of 5 big men. We saw splat zones. We saw tower control. Chicken Dinner on their last legs here. They have to win 3 games in a row to bring this back. And by the way, guys, I do want to point out we are in a waterfall format right now, so this is pools. There's no like losers winners bracket going on right now. But how the waterfall bracket works is the first seed of every pool is going to get a free ride to top 8 tomorrow. So that means that if they're sitting there in top 8, they got a bunch of buys to get up there, and other people have to like work their way up there. So the number 1 seed is a very sought after commodity here for today.
Yeah, that's really interesting to think about. Those number 1 seeds are just going to be able to, get their first place in their pool today and then just sit back and relax.
I'm going to sit back and relax and watch some Rainmaker. No, I'm sorry, not Rainmaker. Yeah, Rainmaker, baby. We got the checkpoints on deck. So for those that are familiar with Splatoon 2's Rainmaker, a little bit different in this game, right? You got the checkpoints there. You have to pop open that little middle guy, take up the golden goldfish, put it, slam, dunk it into the checkpoint, and then keep on keeping on. So there's no more like insta-wins happening anymore. You have to at least get 2 good pushes in order to get that insta-win. Speaking of insta, there's an insta-splat coming out from Purple Team right now. Trying to find out this opening. Man, you see what we're seeing right now, Rissa?
Oh, I see what we're seeing, all right. This is actually taking a turn with Chicken.
Ooh, ooh, let's go. Look at that triple. The triple machine slosher on deck. Gonna get that very instant win. He has the jetpack in order ready to rock here. Inkjet painting more and more. They're past the checkpoint. This might be the answer for Chicken Dinner.
I know, switching over to that dry slosher and paying off so well for them. You know what? I'm actually looking at their comp as well too. They don't have a charger anymore, so maybe being able to be more mobile like this is paying off really well for them. Really good on them to be able to get that many points in the first few seconds of this.
It's definitely like an aggro comp, trying to come in realizing, okay, this rush is destroying our backline, like what just happened at the very end of that last game. So we're gonna have this little counterplay, and it's working out in space. It might be, they might have pulled their card a little bit too soon. We'll have to wait and see how this goes. They did stop that push coming up from 5 big men as we have this little challenge going on. Tri-Slosher coming out, gonna throw that around, try to circle back, forces them. I love that use of the sub-weapon, forcing Sedu to move all the way around and then just immediately pinchers them with the sub-weapon. Very smart stuff.
Really smart stuff and being able to utilize them. Oh my gosh, Opie there, speaking of Opie on the brush as well, like we were talking about, is coming around, gets 1 pick and tries to flick around to get the Rainmaker, does succeed in it, but that bubbler looks like it stalled it out just a little bit. But Opie, he's still here at hand, able to help their teammates get in a position to be able to push up.
again, pushing up. We're going to see how far they're going to be able to do this. It is currently a 4-3 match going on right now. One person's down on 5 Pigmen. Got special. Oh no, gets caught by the bomb, unfortunately for Vic. That's going to be go time for 5 Pigmen. All he needs is that one splat throwing at the Wayla. That's going to give Brush a very easy streak to be able to push us a little bit forward. Opie is waiting for an opening, sharking a little bit, right next to the Rainmaker. Has to find out where they're going to be able to go. We got a little bit of a push coming out from the Slosh machine as well. Got to be on the lookout for that. Look how far they're being pushed back.
They were getting pushed back. Vic and Tim there had to back up there, just not die to that machine. But I do like that they backed up together. Backing up together and just assisting each other and getting that pick was really good for them, because now this is stalling out the Rainmaker even more. It looks like the Rainmaker is actually about to reset. So the Rainmaker has reset into mid. Now both teams have to figure out how to get in a position to get into mid to even get the Rainmaker again.
I feel like that reset wasn't even on purpose. It was just kind of like no one really wanted to grab it at that point. It didn't move too far away, you know?
Yeah.
Time to cooler back on deck. It looks like we're going to go for that push. The anchor of the team going to be able to go for this big push from 5 big men. Is going to keep painting on, trying to make it back to that first one. It gets a splat on Ash. That's going to be one down. Might have that big opening. There's a lot of competition here. There. Sharking, waiting for this big opening. Mudkip avoiding that splash. Looks like they're by themselves. Has to go for some slosher action coming in. Finally gets that big splat and takes the trade 2-1.
What a great trade out there.
Well,
oh my gosh, and look at these jump-ins coming too. You can see that 5 big men knows that they are needing to get in a position to push the Rainmaker, trying to jump in and just hold this area. It's really difficult though with Chicken Dinner just coming out from their spawn and just being right behind the Rainmaker, not going down. Now the defense seems like it's switching from, 5 big men to Chicken Dinner, recognizing, hey, we don't need to push in, just guard the Rainmaker and make sure that it's not pushed in.
Yeah, at this point, it could get reset. They're desperately trying to make their way back up there, but yeah, that was very good defense. If you just put down a bunch of purple ink, it's going to be so difficult for Chicken Dinner to try to get back in there and take it. But here we go. We got ourselves another battle coming up. Look at this. Just coming back in. Has the bubbler coming up. Throws at the bottom. Trying to get rid of the bubbler as well. People are just falling down like flies to a light.
Oh my gosh, Opie grabs the Rainmaker and just sneaks it on through there and gets the lead in the last 40 seconds of this match, getting the lead all the way down to 39. Not a huge lead or anything, but with only 30 seconds remaining of this match, there's so much area and ground for Chicken Dinner to have to cover to even get the lead onto their side.
Bro, Opie's push is probably going to seal their victory for this 3-0, because this is going to have to be one gigantic push from Chicken Dinner. I don't know if it's going to be able to happen. They still have it. They're holding on. It is 2-1. Unfortunately, though, Opie right there on top of it. If there's anyone that can get rid of it, it's going to be Opie. Stops the push, stops Ash, gets another push on top of that. 5 seconds left to go. The Rainmaker's not going to be popping in favor of Chicken Dinner. All they have to do is just pick it up and they secure the victory. They don't even need to do that. 3-0 in favor of 5 big men. 5 big men with 3-0 lead. Gonna move on through this pools in our first match of the stream.